Peter.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 hilariously bad crying scenes in movies.
Don't cry.
I don't know anything.
What a loser.
For this list, we'll be looking at scenes where the waterworks were so ridiculous we started crying from laughter. Which of these acts were so bad they ruined the intensity of the scene for you? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Azro's Arrest. Monkey Trouble. When an unwittingly young girl discovers a runaway pet monkey in the park, all manner of chaos ensues in this charming family comedy. In the role of Azro, Harvey Keitel plays an eccentric vagabond on the hunt for his pickpocket monkey.
What a nice little girl. She's my friend. I love her so much.
While the film features countless hysterical hijinks, the true comedy occurs when Azro is arrested, only to be reduced to a wailing mess.
You can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the court. Understand these rights?
As if the character himself is confused by Keitel's nebulous rendition of tears, he finds it necessary to clear that he is, in fact, crying, which makes for one of the film's most iconic lines.
What are you laughing about?
I'm not laughing, I'm crying!
Number 9. The Last Supper. Signs.
I'm going to have a cheeseburger with bacon. Extra bacon.
In this star-studded horror flick from M. Night Shyamalan, a former priest played by Mel Gibson fights desperately to protect his children from an alien invasion. By all accounts, Signs is a masterclass in thrilling cinema. However, it's not entirely out of left field to call the dinner scene a little much.
Stop crying!
It's stellar acting by all on screen, but the mashed potatoes, man. All 4 characters are in tears, and Mel Gibson's Father Graham is shoveling mashed potatoes in his mouth. It's truly a sight to behold, but maybe not quite for the emotional effect the film was striving for. Number 8. Henry Roth's Fake Tears. 50 First Dates. 50 First Dates follows bachelor Henry Roth as he pursues the girl of his dreams, only to discover she suffers from short-term memory loss. Starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, this uproarious comedy packs a punch, especially in this wailing scene.
Excuse me, you okay? I didn't mean to startle you.
Oh, that's all right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm having a problem with something, but...
Early on in the film, Henry attempts to woo Barrymore's character Lucy through a dramatic display of tears. In classic Sandler fashion, Henry's fit is so boisterous and over the top that it's nearly impossible not to burst out in laughter.
I just can't breathe.
You gotta be kidding me.
The water for tears? Classic move. Not to mention, he tops the performance off by falsely claiming to be illiterate.
I'll tell you what, why don't you come over there with me? You can have some breakfast and I'll help teach you some of the words.
Okay.
Number 7. Seth Davis Begs for Approval. Boiler Room. Starring Giovanni Ribisi, Boiler Room tells the story of a 19-year-old college dropout, Seth Davis. Eager to gain the approval of his father, Seth blindly accepts a job at a shady investment firm.
I'm sorry I couldn't get the job that you wanted me to have.
Before long, he finds himself in the middle of an FBI investigation and must decide where his loyalty lies.
Who gives a shit? Because I'm good at what I do, Dad. I'm good at what I do.
While the movie capitalizes on a thrilling storyline, it unintentionally toes the line of comedy, particularly where dramatic scenes are involved. At the emotional climax, Seth weeps in desperation as he begs for his father's blessing. But thanks to Ribisi's clown-like expressions and nasal delivery, this scene quickly deteriorates into a laughable attempt at depicting despair.
And then I went after this job because I thought it was what you wanted me to be doing.
Number 6. Elliot and Alma Moore are doomed. The Happening. When an infection that causes victims to kill themselves ravages humanity, a science teacher named Elliot fights tooth and nail to survive. While many M. Night Shyamalan films have been well received over the years, The Happening is arguably one of his least successful productions.
Oh, no.
As Elliot and his wife, played by Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel, traverse the countryside in an increasingly dangerous environment, the plot grows more and more confusing, while the acting is questionable at best.
I wish you were here.
Me too.
This is all too clear when the couple is overwhelmed by their impending fate and burst into tears, or at least try to. Their attempts at crying are so strained, it's hard to take the scene seriously.
Elliot,
Yeah.
it's just making sure you're there.
Number 5. Jean Grey's End, X-Men: The Last Stand. In the third installment of the X-Men franchise, Wolverine and his mutant comrades battle an evil reincarnation of their fallen friend, Jean Grey.
I know you're still there!
Despite its enthralling battle scenes and comic book allure, the film falls embarrassingly short in its emotional performances. This is most evident when Wolverine must kill Jean in order to end her madness.
Save me.
Holding her dead body in his arms, Hugh Jackman makes a rather strange whimper as he rocks her back and forth before dramatically wailing into the sky. And of course, the only word he can think to scream is no! Ah, the classic Hollywood cliché. Number 4. The Tragic Misunderstanding, Romeo and Juliet. In this modern adaptation of Shakespeare's classic love story, Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes play infatuated lovers on a tragic collision course.
I'll kiss thy lips and place some poison yet doth hang on them.
While young DiCaprio is undeniably brilliant, it's Dane's performance, and her unforgettable crying, that caught our attention. At the climax of the film, Romeo poisons himself after mistaking Juliet for dead. You know how it goes. Upon then finding her lover on the verge of real death, Juliet is in shambles.
Poison. Drunk call and left no friendly drop to help me after.
In a clamorous fit of tears and distorted facial expressions, Claire Danes illustrates why she's one of the most renowned ugly criers in Hollywood. Number 3. Peter Cries in the Streets, Vampire's Kiss. Nicolas Cage is the king of absurd performances, and there's no better example than his role of Peter Lowe in Vampire's Kiss.
Christ! The tortures of the damned!
After a passionate one-night stand that ends with a bite on the neck, his New York City playboy character becomes convinced he is a vampire. Though there are no apparent signs of a vampiric transformation, Peter dons fake fangs and prowls the streets for victims. Throughout the film, Cage blesses us with countless bizarre episodes, but one in particular left us dying, pardon the pun. Devastated by his so-called condition, Peter sluggishly limps throughout the city as he cries out in agony. The thing is, he doesn't cry as much as he awkwardly moans at the sky, all the while stumbling between honking cars. It's vintage Nick Cage, alright. Number 2. Uncle Ben, Spider-Man.
Stay back!
Uncle! What happened?
This thrilling origin story has arguably the magnum opus of cringe-worthy crying scenes. You know the scene we're talking about. When Peter discovers he was inadvertently responsible for his Uncle Ben's death, he breaks down over his uncle's dying body.
Peter. Over here, Uncle Ben.
Tobey Maguire's tears are 100% real in this scene, which, yes, we applaud him for, but his crying face has been memed to death for a reason. Between the furrowed brows and quivering lips, it's certainly not the subtlest of performances. Still, it feels pretty authentic, even if it's a little over the top, and that's more than we can say for others.
They got the shooter.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Johnny's Meltdown, The Room. Directed by and starring Tommy Wiseau, this cult classic explores the volatile love life of a banker named Johnny. In light of its shoddy storyline, bizarre dialogue, and Wiseau's hilariously awkward performance, The Room has garnered a reputation as the Citizen Kane of bad movies.
Why, Lisa? Why?
No scene better depicts Wiseau's delusional attempt at acting than when Johnny erupts over his girlfriend's affair. We hate to say it, but Wiseau is completely unable to shed fake tears. Although it's clear his character is supposed to be crying, all he can muster are a series of random yelps as he trashes his apartment.
Why? Why is this happening to me? Why? It's over.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.